Good morning. I'm home alone. And it feels so good to just have the morning to myself. Yeah, it's just very peaceful and calm, and I like it. My parents went out to play golf early this morning, and we have a 3-hour walk today on the training plan. I still have no idea where we're going. I did a bit of research yesterday, but yeah, I really need a car because public transport here is ridiculous. It takes 2 hours to get anywhere and you have to transfer 3 times, and I'm not doing that. But yeah, I got my period this morning, which is 2 days early, which also makes sense for why I was feeling so emotional the last days. My mum doesn't have any menstrual products because she doesn't get her period anymore. And I didn't bring anything except my period underwear. So the first stop is to the supermarket or the nearest pharmacy to get the things that I need. And I guess we'll go from there. I'm not feeling very creative these days. I have no ideas, especially for short form content. I was in bed scrolling through, trying to get some ideas, nothing. And I don't know if it's this place or if it's the time of the year. There's time in between. Christmas is done and now it's almost a new year, and there's just this limbo period where I personally feel I'm not quite sure what to do with myself, and I'm not quite sure what message to put out there. I don't know. It was actually kind of funny when I was editing yesterday. I just noticed such a difference from when I'm alone to when I'm around my parents, the way that I speak, just my expression, everything. It's so interesting to observe. My whole voice changes. It goes much lower, and I don't know, I kind of lose this lightness a bit. Have you ever heard when people are bilingual, they have different personalities based on their language that they speak? So I speak Korean, I speak Spanish and English, and I definitely have 3 different personalities. And it's so interesting to observe now what my personality is like in Korean and also around my parents. Anyway, I already had breakfast. Now I'm going to get ready. Okay, I think I'm going to take this backpack so that I can take some water, lip balm, some Korean snacks. I'm going to take baby food just in case. I look like I'm going to go on some kind of hardcore trail. Okay, let's go. Let's go. So I think I found which trail I was talking about. It's called the Mange Mangeroa Reserve. First up, the shopping mall. It's all on the way. And then I'm going to try walk there. As I was thinking of content ideas, I was thinking about, 5 things I learned in my ultramarathon journey so far, which I'm not going to do. But since we're on a walk, I do want to share a few things I have learned on my running journey. I've been running pretty consistently now for the last 3 years. So I ran my first half marathon in 2021. And since then, I've pretty much consistently been training for either a half marathon or a marathon, and now an ultra marathon. Since I got my period today, and on the topic of periods, for me, having a regular period really tells me that I'm still training in a balanced way where my body doesn't feel stressed, because I was actually quite shocked to learn that so many women in the fitness industry don't have their periods because they're either overtraining or undereating. A regular menstrual cycle is a sign that your body is in balance and you're not putting it under a lot of stress. So it does make me really happy every month when I do get my period with all of this training, that I know I'm resting enough, I'm eating enough. Honestly, I made so many changes to my nutrition in the past month. Even in the last 3 days being home, it is just the biggest blessing to have my 3 meals cooked for me. I don't have to think about food. I open the fridge and food is there. I don't have to do groceries. I am so freaking grateful because I know it's such a privilege. Something that I learned from my coach is, if you have pain and you can't figure out where it's coming from, you've had all the checkups and analysis and everything, it's probably stress. So she also encourages a lot of nervous system regulating things to manage stress. And if you're starting out in your running journey, don't underestimate strength training. It's so important and it will help you so much. And since I started going to the gym, even though I hate it, I can really see how it's helped me so much. So I really recommend you to do some strength training and take it easy. What I see in a lot of running communities, and also I'm not an expert runner, I'm not a running coach. I'm not an athlete. I'm just sharing purely based on my own experience. What I have observed is a lot of runners getting injured because I personally think they're doing too much too soon. And I say that because it was me. With these running clubs, you have a lot of amazing runners who've been running for a really long time, and then you're like kind of thrown in this group and you just want to keep up. What I love about my running club now is that the coach is actually my coach. You know, I'm obsessed with my coach. I freaking love her. And the sessions are very short. It's very technique based. And no, like every single exercise has a purpose. I really appreciate that about her. You know, if you are a new runner and you are interested in joining a running club, I think that's great, you know, for motivation, to improve your running as well. But to have that awareness when you go in that you don't have to keep up with everyone else, and it's okay to be a beginner. You have to be a beginner to start somewhere, you know. Be a beginner and start slow. What else have I learned? I mean, I said this briefly before, but nutrition, it's so important. And especially for runners, like carbs. We need a lot of carbs. When I'm around like gym people, they're like all about protein, like protein. But for runners, it's carbs. Again, I just want to emphasize, I'm not a running coach. I'm not an expert. I'm not an athlete. I'm just purely passing on information from my own experience and things that I've learned from my coach, who is an expert. Also, rest. You have to rest. Take those rest days. I promise you, it will make you into a better runner. And I can really say that because I did so many of these like running everyday challenges, running 3 kilometers every day, running 5 kilometers every day. I ran every day for 70 days for this, I think it was 70 days for this ultramarathon training, and I just completely burnt out. You can't make progress if you're burnt out. Your body needs time to recover, and I promise you will come back stronger. I always do, every time. The biggest lesson my running journey has taught me is that you learn consistency and discipline by having a goal. For me, that has been through signing up for races. So signing up for my first half marathon, I knew that if I kept to the plan, then I would be able to run a half marathon. I knew that if I stuck to the plan, I would be able to run a marathon. And for me, it's the same philosophy for this ultra marathon. You know, if you show up, do the work, there's no way that you can't do it. And I just remember this feeling so clearly when I ran my first marathon last year. Even though it was hard, I had no doubt. I remember running, and I just remember how painful like the last 10 kilometers were. But I just remember the thoughts I kept having. There's no way that I can't finish. There's no way. And I just remember that confidence that I felt, knowing that I can do anything if I'm just consistent and disciplined. So since then, I have to say it's really changed my relationship with what consistency means to me. Consistency also looks different every day. There was this really nice graphic that I saw once where it shows like the days of the week, and some days it's 100%, some days it's 3%, some days it's 50. Like every day is different. We're human, we don't know. It's just about showing up every day and doing the best that you can. And best just means you're 100% on that day. And I've really seen it work in my life. And it's possibly the best skill that I've developed in the last 2 years because it applies to everything. Even this content journey, I work with big creators. I work with people who want to start their content journey. The common denominator for success is that the ones who succeed are the ones who are consistent. Those are the things that I have learned on my running journey. So I got everything that I needed from the supermarket. I'm already an hour and 30 minutes into the walk. Yeah, it's another 40 minutes to walk to this reserve that I want to go to. Woo, we made it! This walk I used to do a lot when I used to live in Auckland. Back when I was a primary school teacher, I'd come out, do my little hot girl walks here. So I'm excited to take you. You can hear all the native birds. I don't know if you can hear it. So cool. That was so nice. Walking is so therapeutic. I feel like I have way more perspective than yesterday. I was also on the phone with my brother. Yeah, he just reminded me to try and appreciate the time I get to spend with my parents. Probably not like the most ideal circumstances, you know, and the fact that I can't drive and I don't have a car and I feel stuck, and there are a lot of factors, and I could keep ruminating over those factors and nothing would change, or I can really start to shift perspective and be grateful that I made it here, that I can spend time with my parents. Also thinking that now I've lived more than half my life away from my parents. The truth is that I don't know how long my parents are going to be around for, and I don't know how much time I'm going to be able to spend with them in person. Thinking about these things and trying to make the most of the next 2.5 weeks. Tomorrow is rest day. The one thing I need to do is to find a gym close by. Tomorrow is going to be my figure everything out day. Anyway, I'm on my way home. I'm going to enjoy my day and spend some good quality time with my parents. And I will see you tomorrow.